Today I'm going to spend the day in the kitchen canning. I'm going to be canning meat, hamburger meat, ground beef, and so today I'm going to be canning it. So let's get started. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let me show you. I have ground beef here, and I have about 50 more pounds out in the freezer. I'm going to be canning it so that it'll have a longer shelf life. And right now, I'm browning it so that I can drain the fat off, because our steer was very fat. So I want to make sure that there is not a bunch of fat when I can it up. I have my jars ready, and I'm going to pack these with the cooked meat. And then I'm going to add hot water to the jars. And over here I have my lids, or my lids, and my hot water cooking, and my pressure cooker water heating up. So let me get this packed. And I am just using my hands with some gloves on to put my meat in these jars. Now you want to be sure to leave a 1-inch head space. And I'm doing 7 quarts of the cooked ground beef, and then I'm going to be doing several of the not cooked ground beef. I don't want to get these too full because I want to make sure there's plenty of headspace. So I'll pick you back up after I get these filled. I've got my jars filled, and right now I'm just wiping off the tops with some vinegar. And this is a good time to check and make sure you don't have any cracks or issues with your jars. I'm also going to, this one's got, I'm going to take this vinegar and add it to my water in my pressure cooker so that I don't have to worry about water stains. So it's got a little bit of hamburger crumbs in it, but that's okay. It won't hurt anything. Okay, so now I'm going to put my put my water in. So let me pick you up again. I didn't quite have enough water, but I'm going to go ahead, and while that's heating up, and I'm going along the sides of the jars, let me show you here with a knife so that I can make sure that all the air bubbles are out. Because that water has gotten down into all the, there's no place that there's no water. Okay, I just have these 2 left that need water, so. Okay, and you see that I've left a 1-inch head space on all of it. Okay? Now I've added 1 teaspoon of salt to each of these jars. And if you're going to use regular table salt, make sure it's not iodized. Canning salt is best, but you don't want the iodine in it. Sorry, I don't have my magnet, so good thing I have gloves on. So this is pretty hot. Okay, so there's those. And when you tighten these, you don't want to tighten them too much. You just want to tighten them just not too much. Okay, so I have all my jars of meat in the pressure canner, and you can see the dial on here. When it reaches, well, first off, when steam starts to come out of here, I put on my weight. And then when it builds up pressure between 10 and 11 pounds, then I start timing it. Okay, with this pressure cooker, it doesn't wobble back and forth. It just builds up the pressure. And I will be cooking this at 90 minutes on 10 to 12 pounds of pressure. Now my stove, this stove fluctuates, so I have to watch it pretty regularly and turn it up and down to get it to go the way it's supposed to go. But yeah, so I'm going to let it cook, and when it's done, I'll let you know. Okay, you can see the steam coming out, so now, very carefully, I'm going to put my weight on there. And so the pressure will build up. Once the pressure builds up, I will be turning this down. And I'll bring you back as soon as I do that. Now you can see that the pressure's starting to go up. I did turn it down some because it was just boiling too hard. And it's at 5, so we'll see when it gets to, or it's at almost 5. We'll see when it gets to 10. By the way, this 7 quarts was 15 pounds of hamburger meat. So, and that was cooked hamburger meat that had been drained and cooked up. So you probably won't get raw hamburger meat, 15 pounds of raw hamburger meat into jars, but 7 quarts is equivalent to 15 pounds of cooked ground beef, drained from the fat. My timer, or my pressure on my pressure cooker, is sitting at just about 12 and a half. I just turned it down a little bit to get it back down. Now I'm going to set my timer for 90 minutes because I know it's at the right pressure. And so now I'm going to set my timer for 90 minutes and start. So I'll still keep an eye on this so that I know that it's not going up in pressure, and it still is a little bit. So I'll turn it down just a little more. It's really hard to regulate on this particular LG stove. Okay, I have my 7 quarts of ground beef already canned, and remember, I was telling you how fat this ground beef is because our steer was so fat. He produced some really good meat, though. His steaks were just delicious. Anyway, not getting sidetracked, but I'm going to let these sit for 24 hours, and I'm not going to touch them for 24 hours. They're going to cool here. They're going to sit here. And when I come back tomorrow, all of that fat will be a hard chunk on the top, and it'll be easy to remove. And then when I go to use this ground beef, you use it just like any other ground beef, but you're going to want to drain the water off, or scoop the fat off, drain the water off, and then you can just add it to any of your dishes. You can make tacos. It makes really easy tacos. Add your seasoning to it, however you want to do it. Just heat it up. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed. So that's my canning process for canning cooked ground beef. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Thank everyone for watching. Thank you.